we're moving in at the end of November instead, so it's fine.
Oh, sick news.
I've just started streaming.
You have to dress up.
Okay.
It is,
Yeah, but well, obviously, of course. I'm going to be
it's
sexy
like-
no face.
Isn't that a pedophile?
That's right, legs galore.
Oh, Catholic Church.
Lego, yes. So, anyway. But my band members might also be having a Halloween party, so I might have to make an appearance.
Yeah, no worries.
Gee.
Cool.
So you don't need a piece of paper.
We got big and little rods. Tash, are you in the watch together?
Hello, everyone.
Mine, no, not yet. Hello there.
Okay, cool. That's
It's your
okay,
boy.
click on
Skinny penis.
the watch. What?
Yes.
Is Watch
You-
Together your new
you-
solution for well,
Yeah.
not having a?
Yeah.
Mate. Okay, this is what I'm
think
going to have to follow suit then.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. So you
Oh,
just copy and paste
oh,
the links.
what is
and
happening?
Press like the plus symbol, but it gives everyone control, which Tasha has just proved.
Oh dear. Oh no, I can't give people control.
But everyone can control their own volume.
Taking control. Wait,
Oh, I
what,
see.
what am I taking control of?
Taking
No, it's,
control.
it accidentally just paused the music for everyone.
Did it?
Oh, whoops.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Now we've got to start
Okay.
all over again.
Asher?
Bloody hell.
What's okay? This is just like a loading screen. Oh, fuck, I left the dice on.
How are
Whoa,
you
who
doing?
skipped?
Fucking God.
Is it you on the giant now?
I'm back.
We're on Dark Vengeance.
No?
I've been playing
What?
so much
Stop
Dark
spoiling it
Souls.
for yourselves.
Asher?
Right.
I see. This is like a forecasting, like what kind of music.
Have you guys
Alright,
done
it's minimised.
your eyes, perverts. Okay, do y'all want a little flashback from
Oh,
last
please.
week's episode?
Please go on.
I always do
Yes,
flashbacks.
please.
Okay, so you sent off the majority of your force from Lake Town to head back onto Middengard, where your keep, in order to return the giant brazier that you'd found that originally was from the ruined city of Marketh. So what that was causing like a whole manner of mischief with its magic-y abilities, summoning the dead, and basically just wrecking Lake Town to the point where it's in ruins. Luckily, you managed to lift the curse from the lake, and normality has been returned. In doing so, a squad of Templars found you, led by Lieutenant Geryon, and he informed you that there was a coup happening at the Tower of Aziliath, and he needed your assistance, be it that the king had chosen you guys especially, and that the majority of you are mages, if not all of you,
I think we all are.
except Big
I think
Rod, I
we-
think.
Yeah, apart from Big Rod.
What was that guy
And-
called again? It's not Gareth. What was it?
Geryon.
Gary. Not
Oh.
Gareth.
Sir Garyon, I believe.
Yeah, Sir. Thank you, Ben. Sir Geryon, you're right.
I can't find my
Um,
notes from last month.
Ben gets an apple.
Oh.
A teacher's apple
Yeah.
for Ben.
I'm the teacher.
And as you, yeah, how many apples do you get? Is that actually just like a thing? Do you ever get an
No
apple?
one has ever given me an apple.
That is sad. I'm
Aw.
sorry. As you head to Manuel and the Tower of Aziliath,
Yeah.
there is like a huge, about 500 men camped outside, which are all Templars, basically getting ready for a siege on the mages that have taken over the tower. You know from your meeting with Leona, who is the commander and lord of
Oh,
Manuel
bitch.
and the Aziliath Tower, and yeah, you don't like
Oh.
her.
Yeah.
She basically is informed that not all
Oh,
mages
how
are involved
good.
in the coup, but a young man of 16 is leading it called Hawk. And he is an ice mage, which is extremely rare. They're like 1 in 100 years or something like that, especially for humans. So he's a very powerful mage, although he's yet to reach the peak of his abilities because of his age. Geryon, his own sister is in there. She's like autistic and has no control of her power. And so he joined the tower in order to look
What's
after
her
her.
name again?
You haven't met her yet,
Alright.
and nor did you ask her name. Actually, you just kind of walked in.
Oh, well.
Whoopsie.
So Geryon basically, and 1/3 of the Templars believe that mages are deserve the right to learn, and the tower isn't there to keep them in a cage, but more to protect them from the outside world, give them education, so that they can then go back into the outside world without causing chaos and destruction. whereas Leona believes that all mages should basically be kept under lock and key, and enforces them to wear these collars, which other than the fact they're extremely heavy, they're shackles and limit their magical abilities. And you guys basically, just before entering the tower, you managed to persuade a few more soldiers to join over onto Garion's side. I think that was you, Aurora, who charmed them.
Yeah,
and you informed Garion that you would do your best to settle the coup diplomatically, but that if a fight were to happen, that he should try and stop Leona before he gets to the tower, to which he agreed. And so him and his loyalists, let's call them, are the closest ones between you, Leona and the tower.
Cool. And that was like
a
third of the troops, right?
Yeah, a third of them. You entered the tower, and Hawk introduced you to his friend. Fuck, whose name I've forgotten.
That's interesting.
His name Fuck. A strange exotic name.
Old man?
No, he's an elf.
Is it French?
He's a bald elf.
Let me check my.
Okay.
I did not know his name.
It's pronounced Fouquet.
Bouquet, isn't that Bukaki?
No, Fouquet.
Ah, Fukaki.
Lyran?
It's French. Fouquet. Spelled fuck.
Master. Lyran's the guy at the top.
Leona's the girl at the top. We'll call him.
Fouquet.
What's an elf name? I'm just going to Google elf name. Fuck it, he can be renamed. I continuously forget names. His name is Alma.
Alma.
Alma Fukake.
Yeah. So Alma basically is like one of the librarians there. The tower is just this huge hollow tower. I remember the scene where Samwell Tarly in Game of Thrones, "Cursed be thy name," when he entered the library, and it's just this huge. Yeah, that's basically what you're in now. And like there's classrooms and stuff, and a great hall and whatnot in typical medieval fashion, but it's mostly books and for learning. And so Hawk is exhausted. You met him and you spoke to him, and he also wants to solve this diplomatically, but he knows that Leona will never back down, and so his pride as well is causing him to never want to back down. So they're kind of two bulls butting heads at this point. A load of the mages are on Hawk's side, but you saw some of them still wearing their collars, just going about their day reading. You saw some of them cowering and hiding. You saw, unfortunately, a couple of dead Templars that were originally the garrison there. You know that there are some Templars at the very peak of the tower with one of the Archmages. So the Archmages, there's only a couple of them, and they're basically the highest of the level in that mages can be, and they're the ones that would effectively be transferred to a lord in Midland to serve as their local mage. So you know that Hawk's teacher was an Archmage and went to the very top and basically went missing. And that's what caused Hawk to create this rebellion in the first place, because this teacher's his father figure.
What was his name? The Hawk's teacher? I swear we had it.
We have Alma, and we've got Kalen.
Let's jot that down.
So as you basically descended from the second level, you saw that a bunch of mages were trying to ram their way in through this heavy ironwood door. And at first they tried magic on it, and obviously tried all these riddles, because being an ancient elvish tower, there must be some sort of riddle to it or some sort of puzzle. But Big Rod just ripped the door off the handles. So you managed to get in anyway, and you descended into the basement with Alma carrying basically lighting the way with some fire. And it's this huge sprawling basement full of cobwebs, but seems also kind of untouched, like everything was where it once was when it was sealed, although all the wood's rotten. The first room you went into just contained a giant mirror. It's about a 10-foot tall and about 8-foot wide mirror.
Okay.
And Alma, this is where it ended. Is like Alma basically said this is a webway mirror.
What's that?
Oh, I thought we'd just broken in. I didn't think
Yeah, I
we'd
don't
gone
think we
down
went
the
to a
stairs.
mirror.
No, we hadn't
Oh,
gone
no.
down the stairs.
I thought you went into the first room.
We went
No,
to the first
no,
room.
yeah.
No, we turned left. We're going the first room, and then we completely left it there. So it's
Oh
a
well,
cool mirror.
okay. You've opened the door. It's a mirror.
There's a mirror. Okay.
It's a big ass mirror.
I asked the question, what is a webway?
Holy fuck, how did that giant mirror just get there?
My god, we look beautiful.
Just stood outside.
Harry Potter.
This is a webway mirror. So
What the
rare.
hell
I
is
haven't
that?
seen one of these since the city of Markef. There used to be two in Markef when I studied there as a child. This is very impressive. This one seems almost completely intact. In fact, there's not even a bit of dust on it. Truly, these are magnificent things. They're from the days of ancient elves, long before our kind. They say that they used to be able to store memories and communicate through them across great distances, better than a bird.
Can I touch it?
As Daijin touches it, you just poke the mirror. Nothing happens. But that's
Now, what the hell are you poking it for?
That's not how you activate it. It needs a rose of remembrance.
Rose of Remembrance, you schmuck.
Where we get that?
Everybody knows that.
Do they?
No, this is an interesting thing because usually where these mirrors are planted, one often grows, but I see none in this room. There may be one in one of the following rooms.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Should we try the next door?
Yeah, why not? Leave it
Can we look around the room first?
It's completely empty. The
Oh,
one
just
thing you
good.
will notice is there's
Uh-huh.
absolutely no dust in there. It looks like it's a regularly
Okay,
used
just-
room.
Freshly.
Guys,
Yeah.
if this is a used room with no dust,
Yeah, maybe we
can
might want
someone
to
see
be
us
careful.
right now?
Yeah, maybe we want to be careful with what we're saying.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I mean, maybe we want to be
Good point.
careful with what we're saying.
That's a very good point. Let's leave and I'll shut the door.
Alright, whilst when we're in the hallway, can I just talk to the party? Right. Is that not a way out?
What do you mean?
Well, we all sneak out of the tower. And we can maybe flank them.
But it's not a teleportation. It's just you can send messages.
Maybe we can... Well, wait, we've already sent message to Big Balls.
Yeah, Big Balls
Yeah.
knows.
He's on the
and-
way, I hope, by now.
I don't think it's a way out, sweetheart. I just
No,
think
you-
it's some sort of
yeah,
fancy
it's-
telecommunication thing.
yeah, telecommunication.
What the hell's a tele? Anyway. But I still think we should be wary. If that's in use.
Yeah, I don't think we should be saying none of
We're
our
outside in the
plans
hallway.
in that room
Yeah.
or anywhere near it, quite frankly.
Alright, should we move on?
I concur.
Alma shuts the door behind you. You
Good
see some
choice.
of the mages have descended, also keen on expectating what's going on here.
Don't enter
Shall we
that
try
room.
the next door?
That's what I say to the other mages. Don't enter there.
They all kind of nod sheepishly and look at one another.
And we keep
Lead
going.
the way.
Alma
Let's
opens the
go.
second door, and with like a heavy funk, like it like leans in forwards, and the door kind of wobbles like it's going to come down. And as he illuminates the room, you see these like long rows of tables set for dinner, but covered in like cobwebs. The bread's all decayed to nothing. You can occasionally hear the writhing of maggots, but it's just a completely empty like dining hall.
Can we do perception?
Mm.
What's your perception, Dojin?
Wait a second, Captain. How do I know that?
It should be on.
It's not my
In
call.
your
It's my
character
OG
code.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
It'd
sure.
be up.
No,
at
it's
the
not
top.
character profile.
Oh, it's
It's
no,
just
it's
at
our
the top of
first
your
thing, isn't
inventory.
it? Yeah.
Inventory.
Right, yeah.
It's a watch.
So in your inventory, so what you can see is that you first certainly can smell like just rot and mold. This looks like it would have been some sort of dining area for certain mages at the time. But apart from the lanterns that obviously magically light, there's nothing there. The cutlery is very unique. You've not seen it before. Everything in there from like
Does it look
architecture.
valuable?
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
seen
say, is that like silver? Or...
Little Rod and Aurora instantly eyes
Uh,
wide.
little
The big
Rod-
guy's got deep pockets, you hear?
Hold on, Little Rod, what's your perception?
Mine's 5. Just a 5.
Little rod is 7.
Okay, Little Rod takes a bite of one of the cutlery and realizes that it's in fact silver.
Pure silver.
Well,
pure
load up your
silver.
pockets, big guy.
Yeah. Can I? Yeah, I'm gonna put some in my bag.
DM.
Alma kind of looks at you guys a bit disheartened.
Look, we got still. We got still.
Whilst they're thieving, can I just ask a very quick technical question?
Sure thing.
You know when we've leveled up?
Mhm.
I can't remember.
You just copy and paste in your inventory, but you add 1 point to something you want.
How much have we leveled up?
You would have leveled up twice since the start of the game.
And we just pick one thing to level up.
Yeah, you
think
put
we
1
already
point
have,
in
yeah.
each in one of the things.
I remembered. I just forgot to write it down. Thank you, DM.
Uh-huh.
Continue.
That's all right.
I'm only seeing one level up so far, but
Then add another one after Lake Town.
Oh.
You should
Well.
have 2 in total. So as Alma looks around, he kind of lifts his collar over his nose and exits the room.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I've only leveled up once as well. Then. Oops. Well, it's the big road. It's the big rod. Yeah, he's the big rod. We know. Where?
That was so beautiful. I never heard such beautiful sounds before about my brother.
Well, thank you. I've been working on a song for every single one of us. Is it what? How many points?
It'd be 1 point in one thing per level.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Don't do what Lauren did and accidentally leveled up all of them every time.
Oh.
She was like, God, I'm so strong. And I was like, yes, how are you this
How
strong?
are you? How is that?
I flicked the boss and his head exploded. Yes, how did you do that?
Oh wait, no, I have leveled up twice. No.
Entering cheat codes.
Yeah.
oh, have you?
God dang, yeah. Because I leveled up charisma and constitution.
So as anyway, so Alma opens up the next door. There's not other than some cutlery that you can pawn off. There's not really anything in here. So Alma opens up the third door, and immediately you hear this just like kind of yelp of excitement. My captains, commanders, come and see this. The room lights up, and there's like these really old scrolls. Most of them exceptionally, like if you touch them, they'll just explode into dust. But in the center of the room is this beautiful, glowing, ornate tree, which a rows of remembrances are growing off. Remembrances, it's hard to say. Here. We can activate it with one of these. As he plucks one of the heads off very carefully.
Can I have a look at the glowing, see if there's any scrolls that may be fitting to my loot or my singing magic abilities.
In the corner of the room, in the very corner, there is ancient elvish music, a scripture.
Oh.
Alma, like when he sees you, notice it. Like so you feel a calling towards it, Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like the loot on your back vibrates slightly with excitement. And as you hurry on, like scurry over, Alma scurries back over to you like a shrew, and he's like, "Careful! These scrolls haven't been touched in thousands of years. We must be exceptionally careful here." And he gently helps you unfold it, and you see just like these runic patterns carved in.
Okay.
They seem to glow and shimmer like a mother of pearl.
Ooh. Does anybody have any parchment that I can maybe write this down, just in case it does decide that it wants to explode into dust on me?
I got me a picture of one of these guards' mothers in my inventory.
Fantastic. I'll just take that. I'll just borrow that. Thanks.
I think I got that on like the
previous
first
commander.
mission.
He's right back on him. He's dead and his dead wife.
Well, he ain't using it.
Exactly.
You use one of the stolen cutlery to carve the painting out. Put on the back of it.
Oh, we've got so much cutlery now.
You
Right,
little Rod
perfect.
shake like jingles as he walks now.
No, Little Rod didn't pick up any. It's all in
Oh,
Big
I was
Rod's
gonna say,
massive
like,
pockets.
If for a stealth session, or you can just.
Oh god, we'll have to drop that off.
Yeah, Big Rod was never going to be the stealthiest of sorts, so I
No.
think, yeah, no big loss.
There was literally an incident. The first group had to be stealthy, so they covered one of their heavy armored dudes in pillows. So you just see this massive cotton fluff pillow walking by.
Okay, that's good to know. That's an option.
Anyway, so Aurora, you write down the scriptures. A painting of woman on back now is carved music ruins. Love it. Love it. That's a genius.
Thank you.
Waste not, want not.
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do. I got light fingers, but you never know.
I'm so excited to see this mirror in action. Quickly, let's hurry back to the first room as he like scurries out.
Well, we're going to check any of these other rooms.
Yeah.
Check out those scrolls.
He scurried out, but you feel free.
Can I
to...
do a perception check to see? You know, I'm always looking for my purple scrolls. Chaos scrolls.
Your silver scrolls.
Silver?
There aren't any in here.
Is there anything which might pique my interest?
Literally everything here is written in ancient Elvish dialect.
I can.
There is
read it.
there is stuff that you find interesting. There are 2 scrolls for Daijin in here. If you write 2 scrolls, Laura, I'll edit your inventory later on.
Fabulous.
Well, I think I'd be, I may as well do a little perception roll of my own then.
There is no cutlery.
No more cutlery.
Other than the tree and
Paintings of women.
other than the tree in the middle, there's nothing really that stands out.
Can we
Little Rod.
Could I possibly inspect the tree and see if there's any sort of like elvish magic connected to that, or is that more just?
So from what you can
magic in general?
see, just with your eyes, is that it's grown out, like the tiles of the floor have just broken apart, and this tree is the bark is blue, and it goes all the way to the very top of this room, and it's quite a tall room anyway. With imagine like the 3 walls other than the door is covered in giant shelves full of scrolls. This tree goes all the way to the top and illuminates the room in this like reddish blue hue. As it it glows and kind of hums.
Okay.
Glows and hums. That's definitely
Like a low, yeah.
The
vibration.
other mages have
Is it-
come in now and they're all cooing and like, ooh.
Is it
We
worth
follow Alma.
Little Rod having a climb?
No. I immediately pull him back by the scruff of his neck. Don't touch it.
A fork drops out of his pocket and like tings along the stone.
What are you
Can I
gonna
try
do?
and slip that into my bag?
Oh, fuck. Can I just look at them both? Just
He's not
just horrifically.
This
And
helmet just
drag it.
stares down at you.
There's nothing there, just the light blue tinge off my helmet, and I drag Little Rod by the scruff of his neck, and we walk out the door to Alma.
Alma is standing by waiting effectively. He's got the rose and he kind of is excited to show you how it works.
Cool.
These
I-
haven't been
Sorry.
Oops, sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying I was gonna walk up and just be, a really good student and watch and listen carefully.
No one has seen one of these activated in hundreds of years. They're so rare. I think other than here now, the only one that remains that I know of is in the city in Markef and the one in Midgard. But other than that, there's none that remain. And if you imagine back in the times of when the elves were at their peak, when our ancestors still reigned, there must have been one of these in every town, every city, maybe more. So to see one is just an amazement. Especially like the rose tree back there. They're few and hard to come by. That's probably the only one in the whole of Anonsol that still remains.
Oh wow.
But I remember in my heyday when in Markef, the gardens were full of them and the city would glow at night. It was truly beautiful.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, to him or me?
To him.
Yes.
Do we have any
Yeah.
gardeners or mage gardeners? Do you think we could take a sapling from those trees and try and bring
An
it
excellent
back?
idea. In fact, I have no idea how it grows. You see, I believed they could only grow in the soil of Marketh, which has now, as you know, been tainted and become the Lost Marsh.
Well, but
And
we cleared
so-
it out, didn't we?
No, that's
where's
Lake Town.
Town?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Get your map up, mate.
I certainly will investigate this matter further, but the fact that you're here now clearly indicates that something important is going to happen here. And I would wish nothing more than these old eyes to see what is beyond this mirror. So I ask you all to step forth and witness this with me and tell me what you see. Are you ready?
I am.
Can I just make sure that I'm back far enough so that if any sort of thing decides to, I don't know, draw me in,
Yeah.
but that I won't get sucked into a weird mirror.
Sure, okay.
Thanks.
I also have in my notes that Big Rod's wounded. Is there? I don't know if
Yeah,
that carries over.
There'll be some mages that can take care of that for you here, I'm sure.
Okay, maybe
Just
just,
need to ask around.
before we, I don't know, go jumping into this
Yeah.
mirror here.
Oh.
Maybe
I guess
heal
I
up Big
step
Rod.
forward then. I'm ready.
There'll be no jumping in. Don't worry, my friend.
Remember that it's not a teleportation thing.
Okay,
Oh no,
but
that
I just feel
don't
like
mean
some
there ain't
shit's
no
gonna
dark
go.
magic on it. Something might happen. Who the fuck knows?
Let's
I'm
assume we
being
for being
prepared.
prepared, all right?
Alright.
Exactly.
Jingle one jangle, Christ.
Be prepared.
All right, fine, let's do it. Whatever.
He
Alright.
touches a petal to the mirror, and it illuminates like this white light just shines brightly, lighting up this whole room. You're like there's not even a shadow from you guys. That's how bright it is.
Mm.
And as you stare in, you witness like these clouds, this torrent of clouds and smoke and lightning storm. You can almost feel the rain on your face, though everything seems to pass through you. A crackle of lightning. This is gonna be amazing. This works because it kind of didn't work for a while. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Oh.
A crack of lightning flicks straight through you, and all of you kind of jump. Even Alma, who like jumps giddy of excitement, but you feel nothing except for maybe like a bit of static and the cold wind on your brow. And as you slowly descend from this sky, you see this sea of gold, but it's moving. And you now know that this is an army. A sea of gold marching towards a black tide of like iron and versus gold and bronze. These steel soldiers plated in gold march in regiment formation. Their ornate helmets with banners blowing in the wind. You see lines of archers and bowmen and mages ready for battle, mages ready for battle. And on the other side is this huge tidal wave of this blackened steel, axes and spears and short swords, humans screaming with tattoos across their face and just yelling, waving their arms in the air. No formation, no organization, but they outnumbered this gold army maybe 1,000 to 1. But still this army marches on. Lines and lines come crashing into this black steel wave. And like water against rock, the gold just holds formation. And it's there that the mirror takes you to the very front lines, where this lieutenant is holding the vanguard. You can't hear the orders, but you can clearly see that they're barking out with strict commands, as men and women in steel-plated armor march forwards with their giant curtain shields with spears, jabbing at these unorganized troops that swash towards them. One goes down, another one replaces them. For every gold one that falls, maybe 10 or 20 humans fall before them. But still, there's no end to this number. This lieutenant steps forward and from their hands rips a giant fireball that just scorches 3 soldiers that jumped over the curtain wall. They turn and yell, and then a flurry of arrows go flying. And before the curtain wall, hundreds fall dead. But still, humans keep just arriving, running down from this snow-capped mountain. You see and feel the panic that this Golden Force is facing. They fear their extinction, but still they know they have to fight. And as steel clashes, axes cut through shields, spears splinter, swords fall to the ground. The soil underneath becomes thick with blood and water and mud. Some fights actually end up on the floor. One human drowns this 8-foot golden warrior in mud by just pushing their neck into the ground. It's brutal, bloody, and carnage. And it's at that point that at the center of the human vanguard, these 8-foot warriors of their own emerge, twisted malformations of chaos and human, horns, tentacles, weird chaos spawn, yet wielding the weapons of the humans, run like berserkers. They smash into this vanguard wall, and the Golden Army begins to crumble at the center. You see the lieutenant grab a spear and shield and go toe-to-toe with one of them. This lieutenant's ducking, weaving, parrying as best they can. They jab with their spear, but the berserker brings down one of his two-handed axes. So he's got two two-handed axes in each hand. Just brings them down straight, smashing the spear into nothing. With flurries, they're just hitting the shields, and you can make out this like gong, 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 gong noise as these two-hand double-sided axes just peel into this lieutenant's shield. They stumble backwards, arms straining from trying to block these blows. They fire a fireball. It engulfs straight in the face of this berserker that seems to panic it for a while as it swings wildly. Two of the soldiers attempt to pull it off of the lieutenant, but it just cut to ribbons. The berserker's horns now wreathed in blood and fire, their face scorched, there are no more eyelids, eyebrows, or eyelashes. Anything that once resembled human gone. Just brings its brunt force down on the lieutenant as they cower beneath the shield. Panic, the lieutenant uses wind magic to pull themselves away and back to their feet. They draw a short sword and with this giant curtain shield, again try and go toe-to-toe. But it's futile. There's almost a sickening crunch as the shield arm is snapped and broken. The lieutenant drops the shield, about to ready themselves for death. The berserker comes forward, and in that moment, the lieutenant slams her good hand and sword onto the floor, and a massive stone wall shoves and punts the chaos demon straight to the floor. The lieutenant runs and jabs the short sword straight through the very top of the torso and into the creature's lungs. The creature stands up and grabs the lieutenant by the throat, one hand on the wrist, just twisting and peeling their arm away from the hilt of their sword. The lieutenant's struggling, places the palm of their golden mitt and gauntlet upon the berserker's face and fires a fireball point blank. But this berserker doesn't care as it tries to strangle and drown the lieutenant in the mud. The helmet falls off and reveals this amber-eyed, golden-haired woman with like slightly tanned skin. The lieutenant, gasping for air, she struggles. She looks wildly as she tries to reach for a dagger on her hilt of her belt. And as she pulls it, she starts stabbing wildly at the creature's lungs into its side at the torso. And the creature pulls back, screaming, pounding. It's both his hands together, pounding and pounding into this lieutenant. And it's at that point that she manages to pull herself away. Wild-eyed, covered in mud, blood, a broken nose and left arm. She's staring and just sees this like berserker horde just wiping out this golden vanguard. Accepting death, she readies herself for one final fight. And it's in that moment that these giant golden lions of wings descend from the sky and just start tearing through the berserkers. Heavy male lancers just piercing through their flesh. The lions just ripping away at the tendrils and chaos beings that cling to them. One of these knights disembarks, throws his lance straight through a Chaos Deviant's chest, draws 2 short sword and is like lightning just slicing through them. In quick 6 blows, he kills 4. Sheaths a blade and summons lightning into his left arm, and literally like Zeus holds a lightning bolt and throws it, killing another 2. He jumps into the trench behind the deviant and facing the lieutenant. The deviant, his eyes now scorched and blinded, swings wildly like a madman at this newcomer, this knight. The knight parries and blocks, severing the arm straight off the deviant, dropping their axe on the floor. He impales it. You see it cough blood in his face as he guts it, its intestines spilling onto the floor. He then uppercuts it and then brings his short sword straight through its mouth, impaling it. The woman falls to one knee, relieved but terrified as they embrace. The knight removes his helmet to see that he is also this tall, 8-foot, amber-haired, amber-eyed, tanned person. And he holds her and they embrace and kiss. And he whispers something. And they hug once more, and he tries to pull her out of this trench. And then it's at that moment that ice appears. A heavy snow befalls the front lines. Icy tendrils appear from the ground, impaling troops of gold left and right. An icy fist arrives and smashes one man into nothing. And there, descending from the sky, is 2-winged, 10 foot tall, covered head to toe in steel, silver steel, with this charcoaly stains upon it, and rippled. A long black cloak billowing beneath the armor. This helmet with like a single unicorn horn. This knight descends from the sky and just starts like pulling icy tendrils into his hands and throwing them like javelins, just impaling gold troop after gold troop. 6 of these lion knights try to rush him, and within a heartbeat they're all dead. He has one long sword that he just uses to cut people down, and wherever he goes just leaves this frozen mist upon the floor. The mud instantly freezing and cracking beneath his boots. The young knight looks towards his lover. He goes to draw his sword, and she puts his hand on the hilt and shakes her head and tries to pull him away with her good hand, but he like pushes her away, gives her a shield and a sword, and then climbs over and rushes this god with a couple of his closest companions, these other lion knights. And all she sees as she's fallen in the trench, all she sees is her lover impaled and lifted into the air by millions of icy spikes. The back of him just drenched in blood, almost like he's been crucified by these icy spikes, these icy tendrils. This being walks to the foot of the trench. She can now see her breath. And expecting the end, she fires one futile fireball at him, it just turning to ice before it hits him and shattering like glass upon his breastplate. He lets out a mocking laugh, raises his hand, and the air around her begins to freeze as she gasps for air. But before she dies, a 6-winged demigod arrives. 2 of them, a male and a female, like sorry if I was knocking my door. Like partners, they collide with this 10-foot beast, this 10-foot knight. Both of them also 10 foot tall. They take to the skies, slicing at one another, cutting. The woman angel has 2 short swords. The man a long sword and a shield of elven design. Their armor plated in gold, their wings covered in golden scales. They worked in perfect harmony. The man shouts something and the female angel descends, looking through the trench. She pulls our female lieutenant out. The female lieutenant desperately grasps at the back of her impaled lover, but the angel takes her as far away as he can, lifting her into the air. The lieutenant looks down and sees the onslaught, and looks again once more into the sky and sees that the clouds, the snow clouds, are are being pulled apart. And there, with the largest wingspan she's ever seen, is her king. Golden wings, golden armor, golden scale, chainmail, and golden cloak. He wields a giant two-handed burning sword that is constantly aflame, yet seems to affect him not. His eyes aflame beneath his massive helmet. The sun at his back. He lifts his sword into the air, and this giant burning ray just starts searing through the army of men, just scorching them to ash instantly. This ice god attempts to go toe-to-toe. The six-winged man that tried to fight him is now caught up fighting a giant ice wyvern. And on the ground, you can see another half-winged man. It was basically this other 10-foot god with a giant warhammer summoning these elementals left and right. They fire lightning, wind, earth, water, and just constantly at this ice god, but he's able to duck, weave, and dodge. All this ice knight can see is just this sun god, and the two of them, like a moon and the sun, collide, and there's this huge impact which just sends arrows in the air, like just back to the ground. It sends fireballs back to the ground, lightning storms, everything just is nullified, and she passes out. Awakening, sorry, this is a huge lore dump, by the way, so this is going to go on for a while. Awakening, she's healed. The six-winged angel, although her wings are tucked back, is beautiful. Like the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, with this gold circlet in her hair, is just healing as many people as she can. The young man with the other six wings sheaths his blade, puts his shield over his back, and walks over to our lieutenant and offers her an arm and nods and shakes his head as he goes around trying to aid the healer as best he can. Our lieutenant looks around and sees that the entire Order of the Lions has been wiped out. No survivors. The 10-foot god with the warhammer is doing as best he can to help bring the prisoners in. And there the sun god stands. The ice god before him, chained head to foot. One of its wings torn off. The ice god staring with wild rage. But the sun god just looks sad and sorrowful. His helmet on his hip. He shakes his head as some of the guards drag this ice knight away. A tear falls from the lieutenant's eye, and the clouds cover the mirror once more. And suddenly, we see our lieutenant, heavy with child, standing at the top of a well, looking down, in a room full of this white marble stone, both floor, ceiling, and walls. This room's huge. Imagine like O2 Stadium kind of thing. And she's in the center of it by this small well. She's wearing this loose red robe, and she draws a dagger and presses it against her womb. Utters incantations, and the water begins to change color from this clear to this milky green-white color. And there she can see the floating resemblance of her lover as he's pouring at the water surface. And as she goes to push the blade in, her hand is stopped by the shield's six-winged god. He shakes his head, and she falls into his arms crying, and the water clears. The clouds cover us once more, and we see that she's playing with her child in a garden. Lots of other ancient elven children running around. There's a lovely spring air, and flowers are just falling from their petals, and cherry blossoms. There's loads of ancient rose trees, and the kids are just playing as the mother looks on, talking to her neighbors as she discusses her daily things. And then the sky clouds over. The sun disappears, and there is only darkness. She looks up into the sky, and where the moon once was is a face of pure terror, writhing and screaming both in gluttony and pain. A skull. She watches its giant arms, its winged arms, outstretch. This skeletal arms encasing the world and uncovering it in this darkness. No clouds, no stars, no moon, no sun. The entire world is encased in black and nothingness. Everyone stares in horror, not sure what to make of this, and begins running back to town, panicked. She stares in bewilderment and confusion. It's not until her child pulls at her cloak that she realizes what's happening. But from the shadows, every shadow, a demon emerges. Seemingly taken aback at peacetime, all these ancient elves are put to the slaughter, gorged upon by beasts that tear their flesh with teeth and claws. Magic seems to stop them only for a while. Blades, no matter how many times they're cut down, they get back up, laughing in horror as they tear at these elves. She grabs her child and runs, running as fast as she can. Watching in horror, she shields her child's eyes from what's happening to the people they once played with, they once ate with, they once lived beside or knew. She runs into town, this beautiful white town, as she watches its towers crumble, its walls collapse beneath the weight of these mighty demons. The guards do the best they can, but it's futile as they are smashed into oblivion, torn apart and eaten. Everyone has horror on their face. No one has seen such a thing before. She rushes back to her manor, descending the stairs. She's ambushed. Tendrils fly out of the shadows, impaling her and her child. 6 wounds upon her back, and 2 upon her child's that she was attempting to shelter. Blood wells in her hands, her child goes limp. She struggles to her feet, only her mother's instinct keeping her alive. Slamming her back against the wall, she dodges these needle tendrils once more and fires 2 fireballs into the darkness. A scream is heard as she descends the steps faster. She slips and falls, her child sliding from her arms across the marbled floor, leaving a trail of blood on white. She starts crawling on over, lifts her child up and realizes that her child had died. Sorrow and tears fill her heart. She shakes her head wildly as she struggles to her feet and begins pushing on further for hope, for an escape, for something. And as she's surrounded, a light, a beacon, a 6-winged angel with sword and shield arrives once more, descending from the sky. It takes the demons on as best it can. Taking wounds of its own, it screams and yells at her to run. Firing fireballs wildly, it slams its shields, causing this massive echo that even you guys hear and feel in your head. You feel the heat of his weapons as he slices through demon flesh, one after another, but still they come. She pushes on, running faster now. She gets to the well, lowering her child in gently. She runs to where she keeps some silver scrolls and a book, and starts piecing them together. She forms a grimoire, opens it, and with her own blood carves incantations and runes along the well's surface and her own body. She stands atop of the well, arms outstretched, demons pouring into this marbled room. Offering body and soul, she closes her eyes as these chains, ethereal chains, emerge from the water, slowly coiling around her like snakes. And then, nothing. Her eyes awaken. No sign of demons, only the signs of attacks. Standing over her is this 10-foot, bald, big golden beard giant of a man as he pulls her to the surface. She feels nothing. He lets her look into the well. and she shivers with fear, encased only in the armor he created. And then there is nothing. The mirror clouds over once more, and you see a young man, a young halfling, standing in the rain, blood all over him as he scurries through the back alleys of town, opening a door to a cold and broken down home where a giant child resides. He washes the blood off his hands and provides food for this child, trying to light a fire. The mirror clouds once more. You see an elf girl exploring around in a swampy part of the world. She finds a sort of tower / cave of elven design and enters it. Everything is destroyed but a single instrument. The two are bonded soul and soul. They connect, and fate pulls them all together. As if seeing all these things at the same time, you then see what comes to be. A giant metal tower smashes through the ground of Midgard. A giant fist uncurling to show 5 fingers of steel. Slaughter in the streets. The moon once more encased in darkness. A dragon burning the world. No stars, no clouds, no moonlight. Only a screaming, writhing face with its cloak billowing, blocking out all light. You see elves, dwarfs, orcs, and men fighting side by side and dying side by side. You see 4 shadows floating in the sky. One with 1 wing, one with a purple eye, one slightly smaller than the others with an antlered helm, and one with a screaming face. And it's at that moment the mirror shatters. Alma's just completely taken aback, shocked. He falls to his knees weeping.
I put my hand on him to comfort him and offer out that arm to stand him back up.
What did you see? I saw my life. I saw my parents 200 years ago. I saw the White City fall. I saw what's gonna happen to me. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know.
What's going to happen? What did you see?
My death. This is fate? I don't understand. I never read the scriptures. They never said that it would be like this. They said it stored things. Why would this store things? Why would this break? What is it you all saw?
I look at the rest of our crew and try and gauge their reactions. What do they look like?
Pale-faced.
What about you, Aurora? You there, Aurora?
Oh.
Or
Just
died.
kind of, yeah,
Everyone's
a
shocked.
bit speechless and like she's silent, which is rare.
I kneel down because I'm quite tall to get to his level and say, this has shown us, well, it showed me some things which I didn't want to remember, but know that I have to remember. and show me what we're up against. The whole world is up against. And hopefully it's given me some ideas to how to stop the chaos.
Chaos? You're saying that chaos did this to the mirror? That
No,
chaos
saying,
showed us?
I'm not saying chaos. Chaos showed us. Something showed us that chaos is coming. This mirror was our ally, the last remnants of the ancient elves, and it was their warning to us that it's coming again.
What are you?
Did he see what we saw?
No, you guys saw those things. He saw something else.
I am
okay.
Daishin Okra. I am a lieutenant of the ancient elves, and I stand
ancient
before
elf?
you now as the commander of the Silver Trees. And I stand here before you.
You must be the last of your kind.
I stand here before you as the last of my kind.
Gods, to think that I, a simple scholar, a simple mage, would not only get to witness the city of the White City fall, but would also see a mirror. And now to see an ancient elf.
Wow.
Where have you been? No one has seen your kind for 1,000 years.
It's a very long and sad story. But no sad story ends just a sad story. This mirror, I think, showed myself and my companions the horrors which happened before, but also shows the hope of what we can stop. So
We should
I ask you,
go and...
this is my request to you all now. I wasn't forthcoming about who I am because, as you can see, I am just me, the last one. I am unbelievably old and I've seen an unbelievable amount of things in my life. I have suffered greatly and I can tell you tales of a land before chaos. A land where it was the ancient elves versus that horrifying wave of darkness and chaos. Before the world is the way it is now. And unfortunately, hopefully tell you maybe why it's happening again. But I will need your help. I need so much help. What I saw happen, as you can see in the mirror, as you saw through my, well, I guess through my mind's eye, you saw me. You saw what happened. Obviously, I'm talking to Aurora and the gang. So I turned to face them. You see who I am. I didn't tell you because I didn't think you would believe me. Who could believe a thousands of year old elf still being alive? But there's a reason why I'm still alive. And I take off my helmet. To reveal nothing.
You see nothing beneath the helmet. A hollow suit of armor.
Because I'm not really alive.
The fucking crack is up and what? What?
I put the helmet back on to stop freaking them out.
How on earth are you still alive then? I don't understand how. I mean, how does that work?
Come again.
Well, at least I'm glad we've taken it with humour. It took me a good 1,000 years to get to that point. Well, we can laugh about it now, it's fine. It's not traumatic or anything.
Well, we're just trying to lighten the mood.
What a beautiful day for rain. Oh, no, that's true.
Oh.
Actually, what you're saying, it's just hard to comprehend. You understand, right?
Well, yes, thankfully, I guess my evidence was the mirror.
I guess, but I'm still talking to a guy or a girl or whatever this is in front of me without no head, like.
Yeah, so about that,
Yeah, you want to do some explaining on that part?
Yeah, long story short, what I believe has happened to me is when I tried to save my daughter, when I tried to sacrifice myself in the pit with all that chaos and all the demons coming at me, and I just knew the only way I could save her was if I gave my body, my soul. But it just didn't work. And instead, I believe I got dragged down into that well. God knows to what plane of existence. But I got pulled out. At least part of me. And I got encased into this armor. No body, no feeling. I haven't felt anything in thousands of years. Just to save her.
Alma's like just looking from you guys in amazement and confusion and horror as he sees your helmet off.
Well, I'll put it back on.
Hawk should know this. The power that the three of you now must have between you is incredible. For a mirror to smash like this, you must be destined to great things. I will study it, so long as you're here and permit me. I will attend to the scrolls, and there must be some more information that we can distinguish. I do not believe now this is just a war between magic and non-magic, no more than human versus elf or good versus evil. There is something worse at stake here.
Alma, it's either life or death for the whole world.
I saw my end in an eclipse. The darkness. Eclipses, they do not happen. The last one was 300 years ago, maybe more. I do not remember any great tidings happening, but I remember the sun going out, and a great mournful time was upon us. But the White City still stood. The eternal flame was still bright. Our king was still there. But there has not been an eclipse since, and I do not remember my own parents talking to me about an eclipse before then. But according to this mirror, there is one coming, and in it my life is taken. Did you see one too?
Well, it's an eclipse of some sort. There is no stars, no sun, no moon. Just the face of a skull and chaos descending on the world.
I will study this. You should report to Hawk and complete your quest with what you're here to do.
Alma,
yes.
what you saw here today and what I told you, I would like you to keep that close to your chest for now.
Of course.
I will tell Hawk what he needs to know.
Of course.
It will be dangerous if people know who I am.
He like bows and like continues bowing until you guys feel the urge to leave.
Shit, I mean, we got some mages upstairs in the tower, but I feel like this whole fucking shit has just blown that out of the water. I mean,
yeah, that guy can wait.
Really puts things in perspective, huh?
Yeah, I say we just kill that woman, you know? Just get things over with. I think she might be part of the chaos. I think.
She's not part of it.
I think she might be.
I haven't seen
you hear a mage walk by you going, I think she's just a cunt.
Well, you're not wrong.
Somehow Daishin cough laughs. It's impossible, but it happens. Because I was so taken aback. Well, at least that's cheered me up. Well, thank you, Alma. Like you said, there are some pressing matters we should attend to. We should definitely kill that bitch. Let's save the people upstairs. As we can tell, you know, chaos is coming. That's a pretty clear sign. It must be quite imminent. Let's crack on.
Of course.
Let's go, everyone. Let's go, gang.
Chaos is coming.
Can I like hum while we're going upstairs?
As you go upstairs,
Do I'm gonna kick the shit out of that woman too.
one of the mages like clicks his fingers and shakes his head at the same
Kind of
time.
like the bare necessities. Like.
You really got a neck for this kind of musical stuff, huh?
It's almost like it's your weapon, your style, and your gimmick. As you ascend the stairs, you see that Hawk's already like on the ground floor and is preparing a defense. There are these like barrels and chairs and tables put up, and the front entrance is blocked off. The children you saw crying and playing or eating have now been moved, and it's just the mages that have unshackled their collars. Ah, commanders, we're preparing. You should ascend on the arcane lift. If you are here to save the Templar prisoners and find peace, now is the time. Leona has begun marshalling her men. We can see them arming up now.
Or she fucking has. Bitch.
Well,
Yep.
Hawk,
Yes,
and we need to have a little chat, buddy. Very briefly.
of course. It's so important that it must be now?
We can walk and talk.
Very well. I'll guide you guys to the lift.
Is
He
it
begins
just us
walking
and him, sorry, or is
Yeah.
other people coming with us?
It's just the four of you. There are some mages upstairs already, like kind of
But-
staring down a long corridor. This Templar force.
Okay, but it's just kind of like the core four.
Yeah.
Carry on.
What is it you saw?
Sorry, I got someone walked in.
You were pondering.
I was pondering. Am I on the lift pondering currently? Sorry,
no, you're just
Dyche's
walking
mind
towards
was,
it.
he's having a little bit of PTSD right now.
Ah.
Just a smidge. Hawk.
Just, can I like just a little whisper to get her out of her ponder?
Yes, sorry. Just, reminiscing about my whole life, which you've all just experienced. At least it was quicker than me telling you, jeez. Hawk, sorry.
Yes.
Briefly, as I know we've only got a few moments.
What can I
Long
assist you
story
with?
short is, we're gonna kill that bitch. We've got people on the inside on the Templars. We've got good men outside.
Well, I can't say I'm not glad.
Non-magic folk, but we need to be able to identify them. As we're going up, let's go to the nearest window and I'm going to point out the people who are our allies. Can
Very
we go
well.
up to a window?
The arcane lift will take you past many a window as
Okay.
as it
Alright,
ascends.
can we just pause? Is it able to pause?
Yeah, so as you step on this like platform of like kind of rose gold, and these like green patterns illuminate on it and start going like as you slowly ascend up this tower. There's no handrails, so do be careful.
Alright. Carefully. I gesture to Hawk to follow me to the window.
He stares out with you.
Yeah. I point down to Sir Garion and his troop.
Yeah, it's quite clear. So when you look down,
Yeah.
beyond the moat and the drawbridge,
Yeah.
Garion stands at one end of the drawbridge with about like 80 men,
Yeah.
all of them armed, armored, sword and shield. And then at the after that, there goes a bit of flat land, and then kind of like a small hilly area with all the tents and pickets on. And you see about 400 armed and armored staring down at them.
I thought we had a third.
Yeah, so I mean you've got a third in total, but Garion's got 80 with him. So
Right.
there's some amongst the ranks.
Right. So, Hawk, as you can see, you've got Sir Garion and his men down there. And they
Yes,
fight
I-
for us, as you know. However,
I
on
can't
the-
say it's not unwanted.
and they will be helpful. On the inside, in the camp, Big Rod, our lovely strong man, Aurora and Little Rod have been able to identify key figures within the ranks who, if we would kill and eliminate first, should bring more to our side. Their armour is heavily dented.
I read a tactic about this. It's biting the head off a snake and the body will fall. If we take out these key figures, these lieutenants, it might be possible that the men that were ruled by fear come to our sway instead.
And that is my exact plan. As I said, our lovely trio here managed to identify these through cunning and squishing of their armour. Please let your rangers and everyone know that to go for the people with the dents first.
I will pass that on. This is going to be a bloody and intense battle, but with magic on our side, we should be okay.
Exactly. We will try and have at least, minimal bloodshed as we can. But as it stands, we cannot have her in power anymore.
No, I agree.
And by her death, it will be Geryon to take over. And obviously we know his stance with his sister.
A far better person.
What's his sister called, by the way?
That is Liara.
Liara?
She was down there, one of the children you saw earlier.
She is only little.
A sweet girl. A child of 8. They're on the 4th floor right now with some of my better men. They are still collared and will be spared should Leona.
She will not win. I give you my word on that. I've seen too much prejudice in my life. And people dying for no good reason.
You have all seen battle, no doubt. I have yet to live out my first. But I have heard the tales of men filled with bloodlust and what they do. I ask you this, that if Leona attacks and Sir Geryon's men fall or falter, and my own cannot stop them, that you at least get the children out.
We're all about protecting the kids, buddy.
He offers a warm smile.
We're
almost here. He looks up.
And it's Kaleem upstairs, correct? Teacher.
Is that what I called him?
Yes.
No, Kalen.
Sorry.
For Kaleem, I was like, what? The basketball player?
It's a regional one.
As you arrive to the surface, you see like 6 or 7 mages. These ones are now wielding swords. They're kind of like backed against a wall, and this long corridor either side of them. They're like kind of like SWAT, either side of this long hallway. There are a couple of bodies on the floor. Some are Templars, some are mages. The mage ones have been moved to one side and have cloaks over them, where the Templars have been kind of scrounged for weapons and just dumped in a heap.
So it's the Templar guards there?
No, they're at the other end of the corridor doing the same. What's the report? A nervous young girl mage turns around. Hawk. There's been no movement. There's no sign of Kalen, no sign of the Templars, but we've heard clinking of steel down there. Whether or not they're signaling down to the tower, I've got no idea, but they're clearly planning something. We might need more men here. You'll be fine. Magic they may outnumber us, but magic is on our side. Even their steel ruins cannot stop us. Now, heroes. Sorry. Now, commanders.
I'll go by heroes, right?
Now, commanders. It's possible that they'll let you pass, but you need to assure them that you are not with us.
We've been hired by them.
Very well. Let them pass. And the mages kind of nervously stand aside and lower their weapons.
Okay. I guess we walk up to the door.
So first of all,
Rodney mumbling to himself, Rodney the heroic. That's got a real ring to it.
There's like a really long hallway stretching out before you, and the end is kind of sheltered in darkness.
Okay, so as we're getting there, I just slightly slow down and be like, turn to the team. Right. I'm not the most persuasive here. We all know what we've got to do. Say the right lines. Smile. And as you can tell, You know, I don't have the most beautiful smile, and I tip my helmet and slightly chuckle, just to show that I don't have a smile, and then plonk it back down.
I can be quite charming when I need to be.
And that's
No,
why.
just winked at Daishin.
Yeah. I give a thumbs up. And, because I can't do anything else. Yeah, I do or a classic like finger guns.
Yeah.
Finger guns, yes, definitely.
Yeah, finger
What I'm
guns.
trying to say is, I'm a 8-foot lump of metal. I can be intimidating. I can be very polite. But I need some persuasion here. I'm gonna ask you guys to lead this more than me. I think you're much more charismatic than I am.
Yeah, I got a charisma.
Yeah,
There's no
John.
doubt there. But I think when we're talking persuasion, then you want to talk to Aurora over here.
Well, howdy. Yeah, we all got our strengths, but I must say, I think this is where my strength is gonna have to take the forefront so I can shine like the pretty daisy I am.
Yeah, you got nice eyes. We get it. Can we move on?
We all know
No,
we all
my
know what we
time
need to
is
say,
up.
don't we? Aurora and the rods. We know what we're doing here,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
Well, Big Rod ain't gonna be
whispering
persuading.
you're whispering to each other as you walk down
Yeah.
this hall.
Yeah.
I start like swaying my hips a little more.
At the end of this corridor is this giant oakwood door, so it's actually shut. So the Templars weren't staring down at it like they thought.
Wait, there's a door which is shut.
Yeah.
Hello?
Can we like knock?
Yeah, I just knocked.
as you knock, it creaks open slowly.
What time of day is it?
It's like slowly becoming sunset.
Good evening.
In this is a huge like a kind of auditorium, like a lecture hall almost. There are like on the second story, like a balcony.
Yeah.
There's a library section looking down. On the first story, there's a large oak table in the center, and hanging above it is a waystone. So it's this glowing, sort of amber crystal that like hums and kind of like purrs away. And on either side, there are all these like glass cabinets full of like rarities and like unique things around the world, sort of like a museum.
Keep your hands to yourselves.
That's not the first thing you notice, but you immediately notice about 20 Templar soldiers with their backs to you, looking like on their knees, looking up at the balcony, almost like they're praying. And at the top of the balcony is a cloaked figure with a hood over his head, studying through a book, also not facing you.
Hey guys.
What?
There's some weird shit going on in there. I'm getting some chaos vibes. There's a weird man with a hood. Might not be, but I ain't liking this. I'm not liking this at all.
Yeah, it's looking pretty chaotic over there, I gotta say.
Obviously we're under the guise of we're trying to get in, but we need to be ready to attack. On the dot.
Chaos. He turns around and you see like a short, silver-beard old man. He pulls his hood back and he just looks like an old man, but his long like silvery amber cloak. He's about 5'10" tall, withered and old, holding a staff, like a long staff. Not chaos, child.
Sure.
Not chaos. Though I can understand walking into a room like this, but if truth be told, their mutterings were tiresome. All the time they were here, using me as a hostage without realizing that I wanted to be here. That I needed to be here. Do you know the barbarities of humanity? He slowly starts descending. The barbarities of humanity is simple. Anyone that doesn't agree with you, you kill. Well, not here. Instead, if they don't agree with you, they take your mind, and you end up a mindless drone. No doubt you've seen them scuttling around down there. Their collars keeping them contained. Brains nothing but mush. Mages without a soul. Well, the strangest thing happened. When they brought me up here to conduct the experiment to me, I had time. And I found an enchantment of souls. And now look, their runic armor used against them. You see all the runes on their like bronze armor kind of glowing green left and right as they like moan towards themselves. Necromancy was always banned. And now I see why. Its power is unbecoming. They stand in unison and turn to you, and you see like grey mangled flesh, their arms hanging loosely at their hips, still holding weapons. Every time like you seem to expect their soul to wither away, the runic armor forces the soul to remain. Their own armor used against them. Imagine an army of undead. Imagine the army at my fingertips, waiting to come in and cause slaughter. But no doubt you're here to talk to this commander, and this undead, a Templar strides forwards, groaning as he drags like a mace at his hip. Well, I'm afraid diplomacy is not going to work on him. You're going to be talking to me. So what has Leona offered me?
Well, this is quite helpful, then, because we don't like Leona at all.
No, not many people do.
And as you can tell by our attire, we are also of the arcane.
Yes, I can smell your magic. So much power between you. So much opportunity.
Stink eye.
Yeah, I'm not.
Sorry,
I
what
kind
did you just say to me?
Well, I
Doing
presume
the
you're a
pink one in the
master.
stick. Sorry.
Then I'm speaking to.
Sorry, say again, you
I
cut
said
out.
this is the master, Master Clee.
I am Master Kalen.
Kalen's apologies.
The fact you know my name means my little student has done his job well without even realizing he's doing it. What a good lad.
Master,
Always quick to anger.
Master
Predictable.
Kalen.
Yes,
Do you
Master.
Do you know who I am?
I'm guessing an ancient elf, judging by your size. The armor is unique, though. It reeks of magic. If I was to best guess, I would say that your armor is one of the few and rare remaining runic armors. What these lot have taken inspiration from. Though they use it to repel magic, not contain it.
They're a cheap copy. Barely a fraction of what I am. Do you understand my strength? And my power?
I do.
And I can see yours. Very clearly. Mobiling around in front of me. So I have one question for you. What are you going to do with this banned magic?
Well, it's simple. The first goal, sow chaos. Instruct a student with unbelievable magic, a rarer magic than ever before, get into your side. Make him quick to anger. Make him hate the person he is becoming. Then, make him love you as a father that he needed to have in his life. Gain access to the hidden archives, even if it means risking sacrifice. For knowledge is power, and knowledge is contained here. He raises his arms at the library behind him. Cause uprising. Sow seeds of chaos between the Templars themselves. Create bloodshed and raise an undead army of indestructible soldiers. Conquer Manorwell. Raise another army. Set them loose upon the world and me as its king. Magic is free under my rule. Can you say the same for hers?
No, but she's gonna be dead. And someone better will take that place.
A fool will take the place. There are always fools in power. The king has sat on his throne and let this happen for years. Why act now?
I'm gonna stop you there. You said one word which you shouldn't have said to me. And that word is chaos.
I see.
You know what this is gonna do. You're not an idiot, I hope.
I see 4 dead men. Just more soldiers for my army. He slowly taps his staff and the soldiers turn to look at you in unison. Like a...
Okay, so on that note...
Hold on that note. Tasha, what time do you have to go?
10 minutes ago.
Okay. Okay, because it's about to kick off then.
Okay.
Oh, I was just gonna say something.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine. Feel free.
Oh, no, I was gonna do something cool. I just wanted to do it.
Okay, do it.
Can I just say what? It will start a bloody fight though. It is like.
I was really close to having Big Rod just throw a bookshelf at them. So do what you were gonna do.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
Okay, you can tell me if this works. I was gonna. Wind is my ally.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind him.
Yeah.
And just grab his neck and snap it as quickly as I
Oh
can.
my fucking god.
Hold on. What's your wisdom?
My wisdom is 7.
You wind his ally and just go reaming into the bookshelf.
Oh.
Cool though, because you go through a bunch of the undead and knock them to their feet. Sorry, knock them off their feet like a bull. But you slide into a bookshelf, knocking down some of the books behind him.
Okay.
And like,
Am I
now
still standing there?
You're still standing, yes.
Do I still have any more
Okay.
actions before we end it there? I just want it to be cool, so I don't look like a fucking idiot on the first thing I do to try and intimidate.
We'll do one quick action each. So we'll do
What counts
Big
as a
Rock.
quick action?
That.
Please say I'm still standing. And
You're
can I
still
just,
standing. You're still
But
standing.
can I just be facing the other way, but my helmet just turns to face him?
What?
I
Slowly,
do
like
a little.
an owl.
Yeah. Can I do a little like on the lute?
intimidate.
Yeah.
Big Rod, Little Rod, what would you like to do? Your quick action.
Oh, I don't know. That's set up so nicely. Little Rod's got some throwing knives on him.
Yeah, you got a big pouch of them.
Yeah, just a thought. But the guy that Daishin's got pinned against the bookshelf.
And no, Daijin went through the zombies next to him on her own into a bookshelf. She missed him.
Oh.
That's so bullshit.
Wait.
Oh, I've only leveled up twice and my wisdom started as 6. That's such bullshit.
You got almost a critical fail, so you almost fell over and skidded on your face.
Well, then that's completely fine and I'll keep the intimidating helmet.
Nice, okay. Well, you literally got 1 off critical fail.
Oh, did I get a 2?
On my dice, so when you're currently in like zone 1, so you're on a 12-sided dice, 10 being your max.
Yeah.
You got 11, and 12's a critical fail.
Oh, so you do it the other way.
I did give you a crit dice though, which also almost was a critical fail,
Oh,
but it allowed
God.
it allowed you to step on your feet. So
Am I still allowed to like do something as
we
like a
can
serious action?
Yeah, we can take back your.
Yeah. Okay. Can I try and is there like a table?
There's a
between-
big fat table in the middle of the room.
Okay, can I try and jump from the table, use that as leverage to leap over to his head, swing around with my dagger, and try and slice his throat?
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was gonna say we're engaging then. Okay.
Yeah. well,
I
I tried
I'm
to do an intimidation.
Yeah.
What's your dexterity, Aurora?
6.
So you jump, you run across the table. The zombies swing at you wildly as you do, but your nimbleness allows you to just dodge in between. You like soar onto this giant like round table in the center of the room, and you just start running across it. But unfortunately, you're too slow to get to him. That the zombies, like, he just moves them in front of him, and now you're kind of surrounded on this table.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Big Rod, Little Rod.
Okay, well that's made my decision a bit easier.
Big Rod.
Big Rod and Rodley's room, shut the door.
Yeah, can you block the door, Big Rod, so no one else can come in? We have to fucking kill him before.
You sure Aurora's over there surrounded? Maybe. Well, okay. What do you think would be more?
Oh, I don't know. It's your reaction, isn't it?
I guess. Well, Aurora. Sorry, Big Rod's got a soft spot for Aurora, so I reckon he's gone over to help out. Let's say he's nabbed that bookcase that he was eyeing up beforehand.
And just pulled it down.
Well, no, he's gone over there, like yielding it, if you will. So it's like a giant sort of, you know, watching wrestling. Yeah, he's just gone over, yielding a giant bookcase, like as a sort of battering ram.
Yep. So Big Rod successfully pulls half a bookshelf off the wall because they go all the way up for about 20 feet. So he gets 10 foot of bookshelf, and like they're about 10 feet wide as well. And he just like runs. So if you imagine you guys are still at the door, and this is a big circular room. In the center is this large circle table.
And Little Rod's yelled out for Aurora to jump so she doesn't get caught up in the giant.
Daijin's gone through the table in wind, knocked down like some skittles of zombies, and then gone under the balcony into where the smaller bookshelves are. Going through a lovely glass cabinet at the same time, knocking over this ornate vase that just shatters, and you almost hear like souls leave it. Aurora's jumped, like slid through the legs of one zombie, like yeeted herself over another, landed on the table and run across, only to realize now, fuck, I'm surrounded by these 20 undead. And then Big Rod just immediately as this is happening, in rage, just rips this bookshelf off, piles, knocking over like 4 undead, and now there is like a way for Aurora to jump down off the table, should she need.
Yeah, can I try and jump on?
Hold on, it's just one reaction roll. So Little Rod's turn.
Oh god, yeah, Little Rod's still, other than just shouting for Aurora to get him out of the way, he's still got his throwing knives, hasn't he? I feel like that could be useful. There aren't any precarious chandeliers dangling around, are there?
There's a giant waystone hanging above Aurora's head.
Oh my god.
And Aurora's about to move out the way, assuming that will...
You can go on Overwatch or save it for next session if you want.
Yeah.
We can start on your action.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, let's save it.
Let's write that in the general chat. We're starting, you're about to do something
about to do a throwing knife. Yeah.
My last day on my last and only
giant
action.
Chandelier
chandelier.
Gotta swing.
Just keep you in suspense for the rest of the week. But yeah. So that's the move.
Perfect.
Character.
Right.
You get a new
I'm
character
gonna
next week,
fucking
Tasha.
dip, dive, dodge, and dive. Fucking
It's
lord.
fine. You're a maneuverable sort.
Am I?
Yeah, sure you are. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say it at the time, but I would have slow clapped for that amazing mirror sequence there, Alex.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks, man. Thank
That
you.
was
Do it
great.
now.
That was a great lord.
Thanks.
yeah.
So I've spoken to Laura about her lore. Obviously, you guys created your characters and stuff, but similar to the others anyway.
I liked the reveal there. That was really cool.
Yeah,
thanks,
that was
man.
very cool.
To bend it into the world, I'll be messaging you guys on Discord, as well as I'm redoing some of the character cards and adding so I've done it with the other group, just adding a slightly more, I guess like fun, not a funner way to play that it's not fun, but like something for you guys to work towards. So passives.
Oh, nice.
So in combat, like you can always keep a counter of something interesting that's going to happen in like 4 turns that you can trigger automatically.
Oh, cool.
That'd be really cool.
Lovely.
Nice, yeah.
Right,
if you are redoing the cards, mate, I noticed you put the rods down at around 40. That's not right.
No, send me their ages, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
How dare you?
Oh, you have. I fucking missed that. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I even saw Aurora's. I just somehow missed yours.
How old is
Well, there's
everyone?
two of them. I don't.
Unbelievable.
You got the median age, I guess.
Yeah. That's very true. I did, yeah.
But yeah, well done, guys.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you,
We'll actually do it next Thursday. If you we'll do it next Wednesday if you guys are free.
Yeah.
Checking the old schedule here.
Sounds fine.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
I'm
sounds
free.
fine to
So
me as
we'll
well, I
pick up straight
believe.
here. So we'll probably have one more session in in Osiliath, and then you'll be moving on to wherever you wish